What's up, my people? Welcome back. Inconsistent Life. We are reacting. Fresh and fit. Yeah. I love these guys. These guys are doing God's work. And I love them for it. Because they get to prove how delusional these women are. But, yeah, things just get crazier and crazier. Today we're looking at them, talking about fed women. Let's get to it.
A lot of black women statistically die more giving birth. So it's still a risk you're assuming just because I was born a woman.
Most kids as well, statistically.
They abort the most kids, and also they're significantly fatter. So I like this statistic is always brought up to be healthcare.
No, that's a fact.
They talk about it like
5'3", 185 pounds.
But are you aware of the stats of like racism in the medical industry?
Yeah, see, this is the argument. Like
Of course, racism. Of course. There's always a reason. There's always an excuse. If you're fat, it's because of racism. Really. And you know what? There comes a point whereby I just don't feel bad for you guys anymore. If you're not going to take responsibility, I just don't feel bad for you.
the nurses are racist because black women are dying more.
Wait, nurse?
Red flag. Look, black women are extremely unhealthy compared to the other races in America. So this is like a weird thing.
And
You think
there's
the
a lot of
nurses are trying to
systemic
kill them?
issues that surround that, though.
You think the doctors are plotting? You think the doctors are KKK?
I didn't say that.
Wait,
I
hold on.
didn't think
Firstly,
that.
there are some doctors that literally will prescribe different types of medication if you're black or white.
Yeah,
and there
that's
are doctors that
true.
will
Like,
take
this
women less
exists.
seriously when it comes to pain, when it comes
Yeah,
to...
yeah,
But also,
exactly.
to be clear too, the thing you point about black women being fat more often, that is true. But a lot of that is not just because like black women choose to like be fucking fat.
Yeah,
It also has to do with, well,
Yeah, actually it is, man. It is. If you don't want to be fat, then don't be fat. Come on. It's really that simple. If you don't want to be fat, work out, eat less. It's very that simple. So if you are fat, it's actually your fault. You are at fault. So please, let's just stop with this victim shit. It just has to stop. At some point in time, you just have to take responsibility of your own life. If you're gonna keep eating, you're gonna be fat. That's it. You can't blame anyone for it. It's your fault. Jesus.
but it also has to do with like your generational wealth. It has to do with where your family came from. It had to do with where you were born. It had to do with all these things that in the past were controlled by things that were literally related to your race and the government.
No, man, if you're fat, you're fat. You ate too many calories.
It's- yeah,
Has
if
nothing
you
to
have
do with the government and all that other
Hold
stuff.
on, hold on.
Yeah.
Do you think a 5-year-old chooses to be fat?
Here's the thing. When you become an adult, you do have a choice to be fat or
when
not.
you're
Come on, man. Come on. A 5-year-old being fat is not the same as an adult being fat. Come on. If that 5-year-old is fat, well, yeah, it's not his fault or her fault or whatever. But if that child continues to be fat up until 20 years old, then yeah, it's his fault because he can do something about it. So yeah, it's his fault. If it's at 20 years old, he's still fat. It's definitely his fault.
when you become fat,
talking about adults.
when you become fat as a 5-year-old, you're fat forever. Undoing that shit is almost impossible.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
It's absolutely. It's like
Eating less?
I think
Go to the
2%.
gym, calorie restriction,
That's great.
watch your
That's
diet.
great. And guess how much easier life is when you don't ever have to worry about that, right? There are people that when
What?
you hit the overweight, no. When you hit the obese section of your BMI range, there is a 2% chance you ever make it back to normal. Do you know how much easier you're starting in life if you got parents that care about diet, nutrition, and shit, and you make it to 18 at a normal BMI than a kid that's fucking overweight when they're 5 years old?
Yeah, okay, that's cool. But when you become an adult, if you're still a fat ass, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, it's like the
Yeah.
most like one-dimensional.
Listen, man. There's no getting around it. If you're an adult and you're fat, it's your fault. That's it. Just stop this blame shit. It's your fault. It's just not genetic. You can do something about it, but you're choosing not to. So it's your fault.
In the world.
Generally, what you said can be
Come on,
applied to
man.
many things. Though ultimately, your programming during your first 5 years of life is going to influence many different aspects. For example, the amount of attention that you get from your parents, the nutrition that you eat, and all of these things are forming your subconscious brain. So it's not just that; it's various.
Yeah, well, no one here would disagree.
The whole
but
concept-
for a lot of families of color in the United States, depending on your background, those things are starting off a lot further behind than other types of families in the
Yeah,
But
United
that's
States.
not an excuse to be a fat loser.
I never
criminal.
said it's an excuse. This is just reality.
You're
Yeah,
justifying
but
it.
here's
It's
the
an
thing.
I'm
excuse.
not justifying it. I'm just saying
So
that's
what are you
reality.
doing?
I'm saying that if you look at a cohort of people, if you take a bunch of people, it's retarded to just say, oh, you need to make better choices. The reality is that 99% of people are going to be more or less moving through life in the environment they were born in. Very few people can buck that and become way better than their environment.
Okay, so as an adult, is it better to blame your environment or make better choices?
You should make better choices, but
Okay,
realistically,
we
most
agree.
people won't. That's just the
But
reality.
they
of things.
should.
Yeah, they should, but most people won't. Most people can't. It's a lot
And it's their fault.
of like,
No,
some of
they
that shit
can't.
that-
They can't.
It's either you can make better choices. You can't say
They
they
just choose
can't.
not to.
It's
So then y'all choose not to when y'all are living with a woman then.
Oh.
Yeah, we chose not to.
The
Yeah,
chair can't.
that's why you shouldn't. That's why you shouldn't live with them.
yeah.
Make
we,
better
we-
choices.
We
live
chose
with
not
men.
to maintain the attraction in the relationship. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't see your. What's your argument here?
My argument is that if y'all have the choice, then y'all have the choice regardless of what your environment is.
Yeah, if you live with a woman, you're saying that living with a woman is such a toxic environment, it destroys your ability to hold frame. But like living from 0 to 18 with fucked parents and then suddenly overcoming that,
It doesn't
you think that
destroy
that's
the
possible?
ability, but it's better to live with men so that
You're,
doesn't happen.
dude, you're
to avoid
playing
the
such
scenario.
word games right now. You said earlier that if you live with a woman, it will make you a worse man.
It's more likely for that to happen. It's,
You're playing
it's
word
easier
games.
to maintain frame if you're not living with your woman all the time.
I'm going to
So
repeat it again.
Why
You
would
said
Okay, listen, I don't know what the fuck they are talking about. These guys. Living with a woman makes you, what? I know, I don't get it. I don't get it. And quite frankly, I have no idea what they're talking about now.
you live with a woman,
Makes
it
you
will
more
make you a
attractive.
worse man.
Makes you more attractive.
No,
That's
no,
the
you
argument.
said
Living with a woman makes you a worse man. Depends. Is that woman your wife? Or it's just some girl that you made? If she's just some girl, then yeah, probably. But if she's your wife, it's a different story.
earlier, you guys were all saying earlier, will make you a worse man. It softens you up.
That's soften you up.
But why can't you just make better choices?
Yeah.
Yeah, making better
That's
choices by
what I'm
getting
saying.
out of the house more. That is a choice.
Okay, true. Then children should make better choices by having better parents and not being fat when they're 5.
That's
What?
How?
That's a
What?
stupid. What? This guy, this didn't even come on, man. What the fuck are you talking about, man? How can a child choose their parent? Come on, man.
Goalposts are you moving now? What are you talking about?
You're saying
what
that
are you
as
talking
a man,
about?
I can
Adults
explain
are
it
more
to you.
capable
I
of
can
making
explain it to you.
decisions than
No,
children.
you said adults aren't capable. That's why they have to stay away from their women, because if they stay near their women, that environment will destroy them.
All right, let's
Men
stay on
can't
topic.
work-
Let's stay on
Okay, all
topic.
right, all right,
Bro, you argue the argument.
I'm not. That's what you guys are saying.
Miss Howard University, you were saying that there's racism in the medical industry because what? I'm sorry, that they label women as being obese. Sorry.
No, I did not start this discussion on Black women and obesity. There's a plethora of reasons, actually, and the research really exists, and I'm not going to go into all of it. It is almost 1 a.m., and I do have work in the morning, but the research is out there, and Google is free. The stats are very real. There's a lot of social issues that surround it. There's a lot of socioeconomic differences that impact that. If you want to even start discussing obesity, socioeconomic status directly impacts the access to the quality of food that you're able to eat. So a lot of people in the Black community, they struggle with obesity because if you're in a low income group, you are typically eating a lot of fast food out of necessity because you can't afford to go to the nearest Whole Foods. You can't afford to go to Publix. Like, that's a very real
Not
issue.
really. It's something like
Exactly.
in New York City, for
That's
example, they say that the projects are right next to the Whole Foods. It's literally like 2 blocks away, but they just
It's
choose.
about if you can afford it, not the proximity to the Whole Foods.
Yeah, I know, but after 2020, you got all these government benefits, you got all these unemployment checks, and what do they spend it on? Weed, rapper weed, rental cars.
And you didn't
Just
even go to Whole
garbage.
Foods.
Nobody
either. You could go
invested
to
that money
Aldi's.
properly. All the people in the hood
It's Nick.
that got all these unemployment checks and got all those government stimulus checks, they spent it on weed. They didn't go to Whole Foods. How many people from the hood went to Whole Foods with those unemployment checks?
First of all, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about stats. You can go break it down to an individual level, but I'm talking about statistically, and that's
Sure.
what I'm saying. That's what exists, and that's what you could Google.
Yeah, but
that's what you could research
this narrative-
on your
That's
own
just
time,
coping.
not
This
mine.
narrative is
That's
why
just
they start pushing towards
Hold on,
slavery
hold on. Look,
reparations.
if you're gonna make an argument on the show,
Don't just
you
say
can't
Google
sit there
it.
and say Google it and then not stand for what you're trying to claim and say I'm tired.
No,
Like, that's
it's
ridiculous.
just
At
it's
the end
just
of the day, that's
because
coping because I grew up in the hood, low income, and I'm not fat. Nobody in my family's fat. It doesn't matter if you're eating fast food if you have discipline. You go to the gym, you can eat fast
Wait,
food.
so now we're doing the exception thing?
I'm saying, can I finish first?
make better-
Hey, Destiny. Yo. Destiny. This guy.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know we were
about-
doing the
that's what
exception
I-
thing now.
It's
yeah.
not about me personally. What I'm saying is you can, as a person,
Make
make
better
better
choices.
choices. You can eat McDonald's every day, and if you're still going to the gym, you're not necessarily going to be fat. It doesn't matter about your income. You can buy fruit. They have fruit cups at fast food places too. Starbucks has it.
Right.
McDonald's has it. Like, you can choose healthy depending on your income and still discipline yourself. If you can't afford a gym membership, you could go to the beach. You can exercise. They have public gyms at the parks. So that's a cope. There's no excuse. And Black people are just lazy.
Yeah.
No,
But it's smart.
Girl, you're telling the truth. They don't want to hear that. It's always someone's fault. If you're fat, yeah, it's because I grew up in the hood. It's because of this, it's because of that. It's not really my fault. If I'm fat, it's not really my fault, you know. It's not the fact that I'm always buying McDonald's or always eating some shit that's gonna make me fat. It's always because I grew up in the hood and we are poor and whatever. You know, even though I pass the gym every single day. But still, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's the environment. It's all this bullshit. Yeah, it's always someone else's fault except me.
That's true. First, I was gonna say let's not go into stereotypes.
Yeah, don't do that.
Hey, you started stereotyping the nurses.
You're right.
I didn't stereotype the nurses. I talked about statistic racism in a medical industry. That's very real.
Okay, you're stereotyping the doctors.
still
But you know what's going to hold you back more than like the
I didn't say
doctors
doctors are racist.
Fine.
I said there's racism
in the medical
statistics
industry? You know what's going to hold you back more than thinking that the doctors and the hospitals are KKK is that victim mindset. Slavery reparations,
right.
they're trying to advocate towards that right now in San Francisco and these places. As soon as they get the slavery reparations, they're not going to go to Whole Foods with that money. They're going to go right to the Jordan
You know,
store.
you can do
They're gonna get
both.
sneakers and
You
boots.
can simultaneously recognize that it's really hard to overcome your environment while still advocating for making good decisions. Like, you guys will sit there and pretend like environment doesn't matter, but you all realize how important environment is. That's why, even though I was roasting you for it earlier, it is good to like live with guys, or at least have a network of guys that are pushing you to be better. Because left to their own devices, a guy will be fucking lazy. You'll sit on the couch, you'll smoke weed, you'll do nothing all day. But when you're surrounded by other people that are driving you to do better, then you're going to do better. Not necessarily because you're making better decisions, which you are, but because you got people pushing you. And when from ages 0 to 18, if you've got somebody pushing you your whole life to have a routine, to have discipline, to go to the gym, to eat healthy, when that person turns 19, to pretend like they're making the same choice as another person that turns 19 who was given horrible discipline their whole life, it's just not true. One guy basically had his whole roadmap laid out.
Yeah,
for him
but
for
you
his
got to
entire
have
life.
the capability of realizing this is a shitty environment and get the hell out of it. Like
No,
this
I
is-
understand what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is that a guy that weighs, a guy that's like reasonably fit or whatever, that is 19 years old, that was in an easy family his whole fucking life, that dude might be a worse guy than a guy who's like 240 pounds, working on losing weight, who comes from a shittier background. But like, if you look at them both, you say, well, the one guy is doing better, so he's a better person, but he's not making harder choices, he's not making better decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys, this is just crazy, man. Hey. Yeah, but I love this one. This one is really I enjoyed watching it, honestly. I really enjoyed it, yeah. Yeah, hey, Sneaker, you're the best, man. I love you. Hey. And it's weird seeing another guy that I not in a sexual way, man. It's not weird. Not in a sexual, in a content way. You know, the way you come back these women. Yeah. Big ups to you, man. Well done. And fuck you, Destiny. Yeah, hey. It's crazy. Anyways, guys, yeah. These guys, they make me laugh sometimes. But I really enjoyed watching them. I honestly enjoyed watching them. So, yeah. Please, watch some more of this. There's more coming. Someone criticized me on the comments, on the comments on some videos I did way before. So now I'm gonna release some more videos to piss these people off. Yeah, I'm gonna do it some more. So, anyways, guys, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. It's just me sitting in my room, bored, and reacting to some videos. I hope you really enjoyed it. Anyways, consistent life. Peace.